Well, folks, here we are again. We're in the middle of chapter 43, and we're at verse 13. And we are in the middle of the proclamation of God. God is telling His children, and we're right in the middle of it, who He is, where He come from, and there is no other God besides Him. And what He is saying here is what He is saying all the way through to the end of their life, all the way to the millennial reign, all the way to when the earth is going to be restored, to when the 1,000-year reign and the Jewish people are going to be on this earth again for 1,000 years. I'm sorry, but the Jehovah's Witnesses have got it wrong. The 1,000-year reign is not going to be for the Jehovah's Witnesses. It's going to be for the 12 tribes of Israel. 144,000 from each tribe are going to be witnesses upon this earth during that period of time. And God has proclaimed that. Now let's get back into the book. Over here in Isaiah 43 and the half of the verse of 12 we stopped at. Therefore you are my witnesses, saith the Lord. I am God. Indeed, before the day was, I am. Before there was a day, He said, I am. Before there was even a day, the day was not created yet. And I was God then, and I'm God now. I'm the God that created the day. And I'm also the God that chose you to be my people. I'm the one that put the blood in Abraham that was in him, that was righteous blood, that he could walk on this earth as a righteous man through the redemption that I gave him. And there is no one who can deliver out of my hand. I work, and who will reverse it? He said there is not a soul. There is no one. There is no God big enough to reverse that which I spoke, I said, or I did, or whatever. And thus says the Lord, your Redeemer. Mark it down. The Holy One of Israel, for your sake I will send to Babylon. Listen, He said, I am your Redeemer. I am the Redeemer. I am the Holy One. I'm the Holy One that redeems you. And I am your God. And I am your Lord. For your sake, I will send to Babylon and bring them all down as fugitives, the Chaldeans who rejoice in their ships. I am the Lord, your Holy One, the Creator of Israel. I am your King. How many times has He got to say that He is the God of Israel, that He is the Creator of Israel, that He is the Lord of Israel? How many times has He got to say that before it will be comprehended? Can you not comprehend what He's saying? Thus says the Lord, who makes a way in the sea and a path through the mighty waters. Can you imagine? Here's the God that makes a way in the sea and a path through the water, who bring forth the chariots and the horse and the army and the power. They shall lie down together, they shall not rise. They are extinguished, they are quenched like a wick. You know how back in the early days of Israel, and you had the menorah and the candle stands and the wicks and everything, and you had the snuffers, and you could go over there and snuff out the candle or snuff out the wick, and and shut it out. God said, I'm going to snuff out everybody and everything else but you children. You will not be snuffed out. You will be a light, set on a hill, cannot be hid, will not be covered up by a bushel. There is going to come a time again when God is fixing to deal with you again and give you a second opportunity. How all of that is going to work, only God knows, because He is God. Who bringeth forth the chariot and horse, the army of the power? They shall be lie down together. Now the Bible said in this period of time, the millennial reign, the animals will lie down with the people again, like they did in the Garden of Eden. Adam didn't have to be afraid when he's naming the animals. He walked up and patted the lion. He could brush the leg of a giraffe. He didn't have to worry about anything. It was all there. It was all, by the way, there was no serpent when Adam was in the garden. There was no snake. There was nothing that would bite him. There was no evil. Evil did not come until sin came. After sin came, thorns, thistles, briars, and evil stuff came. The animals were subject to Adam. Adam called them by name and sent them out to do whatever their job was. And that's what he sent them out to do. I will even make a rod in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. The beast of the field will honor me, because I give waters in the wilderness and rivers to the desert. I give drink to my people, my chosen. Look at this again. Here it is. My chosen. Verse 20. My chosen. God's chosen people. This people have I formed for myself. He said, I formed these people. For who? For myself. I formed them for me. They shall declare my praise. There's coming a day when they will again declare His praise. And they were pleading with the unfaithful Israel. He was pleading here. God was pleading with the unfaithful Israel. He's saying, listen, folks, this is me. This is the God that created you. I am the one that you need to be in touch with. Oh, Israel, listen to Brother Peter. Reread the Old Testament. Study it. Reread it. Put together all of the prophecies that God gave you of Himself coming in the form of a man. And that man was Jesus. Put aside that block that you have in your head. Prove before you ride that to death. Prove it. Prove it wasn't Jesus. If you don't have anything else to do in life, prove that Jesus wasn't who He said He was. Prove He wasn't God in the flesh. You can't do that if you don't get in the New Testament. You can't do that if you don't cross that bridge. But you don't have a leg to stand on. There's no veil for you. There's no place of sacrifice. There's no place where you can do what you did do. If you do, you'll be like the king that out of the wrong place did it and got cursed for it. Therefore, you must come over to the other side of the bridge and take a look and see if that's a bridge you need to cross. And it will be, because God said He chose you and He gave you the right to cross that bridge. The Gentile was not given that right until your ancestors put the one on the cross that was